Hi all, and welcome to the video. In this one, it's the fr00b playthrough, number 15. So as you can probably see, we're stood next to Corporal Ashley Winstead. Yes, we are. And we have hit a new level. Yes, 130. Yeah, we've actually got there. And that was a bit of a milestone because reasons. Namely this one, which was originally donated by Baton Pending, I think her name was. Their crap was the tune they delivered this to me, and it's done its time on the paid character, I think, and I think it's high time that this guy has it. So as you can see there, compared to the armour that he did have on, if we just take a look, he was just wearing this basic Joint Clan Newcomers body armour. You can see there ACs ranging 550 to 500, a little first aid and NCU, whereas this one, max health for 300, martial arts for 29, psychic and knit for 60, 42 to all damage, and then 1200 to every AC. You could say it's more than a bit of an improvement. In fact, it's probably end game for MA fr00b. In fact, probably end game for a lot of people who are fr00b. Anyway, we are here at 1:30, and we're going to talk to Ashley, who has on his rather resplendent black armour. The trouble is, if I want to, let's just say, display this, then if I go to F10, control center, the equipment window, turn off social only, it suddenly shows only the cloak, which is annoying. But if I take the cloak off, which I probably wouldn't do, you only see this. So if I turn the social tab off, then you can see that, but it's such a messy looking thing. I can't seem to get it to do the thing I want it to do, which was kind of show that, but also show the chest armor. Maybe if I took the Pioneer backpack off and put that in. Oh, I've got to unequip it first. Oh, good God. Put that on back. Now, you see, it covers it again. Why the hell is that showing now? My God, it's horrific. Why is that suddenly decided it's going to do it's just what? Yeah, that is a helmet and a half. Yeah, I think I know why I went with show social only. Helmet visible, helmet not visible. Yeah, okay. So Ashley Winstead, is something going on? Sound serious? Anything I can do to help? Alright, I'll help out. Whom are the targets? Goodbye. Okay, interesting. Right, so we have been and done this one more than a few times, definitely. So from here, it's time to fly out to Varmint Woods. I've always found Borealis to be quite an interesting place in terms of layout, but also if you look at the backdrop over there, you don't see it everywhere. It's very primitive, far distance view. But you can see there's actual geometry here, and then this is just like a painted on background kind of deal going on, of mountains or something resembling mountains, not entirely sure. Anyhow, yes, Wailing Wastes, grid, or no, we'll go Newland City first, and the Wampa acknowledges we have entered Newland. Now this is a place I do have a lot of affection for. I say it every time I come here. I don't know quite why 100%, but Oh yeah, they're ignored because they are a cred spammer. Yes, they are. Right, ICCHQ. It's quite interesting actually when you ignore someone. You can always spot them coming a mile away. I see that more often than you may think, although on some of my older characters, much of their ignore list is so out of date, it's unbelievable. In other words, the people that were put on to ignore haven't really played the game in a very long time, I suppose. Okay, moment of truth time. Vomit Woods. Will it crash? Will it crash? I'm thinking it has. Yay! Look at that. Complete bleh. Right. We shall have to get out of the Yalm, hit exit, and we'll be back. And we are back. Yes, we are. Are we centered? Yes. Right, what we're looking out for here, if you look, we have black sheep, black hats, etc. Oh god, I cracked this on the hacker trail. So basically, I've got to kill 10 of some specific mobs. Now, I can't remember. Oh, there you go. Handily marked on Savic's map if you zoom in. Yes, they are. A little bit south, but mostly west. For those asking the question, yes, this is the new engine. This is what we got. And honestly, I do like it. I mean, I think the main reason is not just the grass. I think it's just the lighting, but they also managed to carry on or continue to keep the colour depth. And that's something you don't actually see that often in a lot of games. I noticed this especially in unmodded Bethesda games, EA and Crytek engine games as well. The saturation and colour depth seems a little bit light. In other words, they're a little foggy, but I think it's because the colour schemes and stuff have been designed in mind with running on a console, for one, and number two, being played on a domestic television, as opposed to, you know, a PC monitor. Now, pretty much everyone was still using CRT monitors when AO was developed and launched. I certainly was. I didn't get a TFT until, I think the first one I had a weird resolution. It wasn't 1080p, it was like, is it 1920 by 1050? Something obscure like that, actually. And, you know, that was okay, but at the same time, the colour depth on a CRT was vastly superior, as was the colour depth. Now these guys, grey or not, they could be green when you first get this quest. You can get the first stage of this quest you can get at, I think, level 100. And these guys, being 80, 90, you might think, oh, we'll be fine against these. But generally speaking, you're not. They hit much harder than you would give them credit to. So yeah, the colour depth thing. And what I noticed very quickly was that when I'd gotten a CRT and put it side by side with the TFT monitor I'd recently bought, the picture quality was nowhere near. And to this day, a decent CRT, I think, is, you've really got to spend a lot of money on a new panel. I think they've only in this last 4 years gotten close to matching it, and I think that is reflected in newer games' kind of colour palettes, whereas AO has a very deep colour palette that is almost wasted on a cheap TFT. It really is. But you can't really get CRT gear anymore. I think that all started when Sony announced that they were going to be closing down their CRT plant, which was making monitors for, you know, that component for TVs and PC monitors, you know, long ago. So what they may have lacked in resolution, they certainly made up for in every other aspect. Colour grading, etc. It was very, very good. And it was only, I think, really with that we're seeing now, that I've seen with like OLED panels, etc., that we're beginning to see the same thing. In truth, I'd have to do some research on that to find out exactly, you know, what it is. People go, oh well, it's this many % of the, you know, Adobe. Yeah, we had higher colour schemes than that back then. Greater colour depth, colours that really most human eyes can't discern. But if you were a photographer or videographer, you certainly could. And if you look at early film documentary movies, you know the extras you get on the back of the DVD? Yeah, those. What you'll see there is... oh yeah, you can't jump on top of these. They sort of may as well not be their items or objects. Do these guys drop anything? I don't think they ever do. Okay, we need a bunch more, and I think there's just one left here. Yeah. Yeah, if you watch those, you'll see that people are still working on CRT monitors. They're not using anything less. You know, something to think about. Okay, we need to go south to another camp. Yes, I did, you know, a live stream, and the plan was I was going to do it for 30 minutes to an hour tops. And in the end, it kind of it expanded a lot. Yes, it did. It ended up being nearly 3 hours. I ported it over to YouTube so people will watch it there as well, and that in itself seems to have been popular. So I was really quite pleased with that. So anyway, long story short, although it wasn't, it was very long-winded. I have a white dot. It's a neutral mob. On the mini-map here, you can actually see which mobs you may or may not want. They're the ones we want for this quest. They're all white. You know, so you're looking for little white dots. But here, you know, these, like Hardened Convict, are not part of that quest. No, they're not. So yeah, the two biggest comments were, cool, I was in that video, or, you know, or I missed it. And that's a tricky one for me. You see, I'm in the UK, so we are currently on GMT or UTC time, which isn't always going to work for some regions in Europe, and definitely not for the people that watch me, you know, in the US. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. So I don't really know what a good time would be. Maybe early evening for me is a better time for you guys. I don't know. Hard to figure out, really. The Blaster Beetle of Doom. Yes, indeed. What level was that? 128? Wow. Now, we should be getting fairly close now. I think we are coming up on this camp. There's two nearby here, and they do respawn. I couldn't tell you what the respawn timer is, but they certainly do. Yes, they do. Are these guys inside the confines of this base? They could be. Or just outside it. I'm actually looking ahead on the screen for... Oh, here we go. Yeah. It's looking for the, you know, what colour would you call that? Maroon? Maroon sheets. Okay, I'm not sure where we're at. Crack this. Still need those. 4 more nanobot hackers. I'm starting to pay attention to the system feedback now. But we haven't gotten to any point where we're getting nicer crits, I'll say that. Crypto Cracker. How many of you do I need? 3 more of those. Nanobot Hacker. There's plenty of them at this camp. I do wonder if someone else isn't doing this quest. 3 more. There's a guy over there. Black hats. How are we doing on black hats? Four. Still needing quite a few, actually. But this is the easy part of the little quest. Yes, it is. And what the whole point of doing this, one, for the XP, but also I need a better heal nano. I certainly do. I'm just so pleased that I got this guy to, you know, level 130, and he's now using that dragon body armor. It's so kindly given. 2 more of these guys. Yeah, the quest gets a damn sight harder after this. Stage 2, I think, will be difficult with this character. The final stage, the boss at the end. Oh my god, that I'm not even sure about the cyborgs for that. I could just cheese it, log a paid 220 and just do it that way, but you know, there's no kind of challenge in that. I mean, maybe the Enforcer, just to keep aggro. Right, so that completed one of them. But I've still got Crack This. I still need Crypto Crackers. How many? Don't know. I have not been paying enough attention. Okay, I apparently needed 1 more. Black Sheep, Black Hats. I still need Black Hats. Have we got a Black Hat anywhere? We do. Where are you? Ah, you're hiding over there. Apparently, 1 more Black Hat. Are there any more? I can still see dots. What are you? You're a Black Hat. Awesome. Okay, is that all of them now? Yeah, they all say return. Okay, we could fly back, or we could use our magical beacon. I'm going to be using the beacon. A shade. With the dragon armor on. And slippers, nice. Good solid build for a shade, that. Always. I think on mine is the same as the paid MA now. Instead of the living dragon flesh armor, actually has the oh, whatchamacallit. Yeah, the this brigade operator stuff. Which is very, very nice. Yes, it is. Right, Borealis. Really cool people around. We have... Oh, is he in full Jathos? Or is he just wearing it as social? Looks like... Social, yeah. Not bad, not bad. Oh, got the expensive vest as well. Color of amplification. Oh, Tara. 30 minutes. I think we can do it. I think we could very well die trying to do it, but we're in Borealis. We've now got that much time. That should be enough time to run down and tag. But I've got an 8 minutes on the beacon to get back out. And that's if I don't get flagged, which could certainly happen. You hand out missions, correct? Something about Avalon, goodbye. And somewhere in there is Tara, yeah. Okay. I'm at a funny level at 130. Yes, I am. How much comp lit have I got? That is plenty. Just thought I'd best check there. Because I think it's 450 for Camelot. You need 450 comp lit. I've come afoul of that before on little noob characters trying to run them down to Tara. Trouble with this guy is I'm going to have to run him down and then run him all the way back out. With a lot of mobs around him. And possibly people going, I'm totally killing that guy. He said, crashing into walls. Please don't. The lags. No, I do know the way down. Pretty much off by heart. I think I came down here a few thousand times in the past. Yes, indeed. And generally you will see people doing exactly what I'm doing, just running down. Because even though we don't get VP for this on fr00b, we do get the XP. Am I going to be able to run back out again? I don't know. Could be. There's Ugly. Hello, chicken. Okay. Now the fun part. Run back out without getting killed by either mob or player. God, I've seen some battles in here over the years. I very rarely come in here anymore. It has quite an organic and natural layout to it as well. Strategically speaking, you know, like you've got the box room, etc. This place, with the boxes in that corner. Scaly lizard, I thought that was a player then. I was like, oh no, going to die. Torture tool. Is Morgan Le Fay up? Can I take down Morgan Le Fay? Probably not. I can't remember what it is that she dropped. It's torture tool, isn't it? Okay. It could take, you know, a fortnight to kill her. She has a hell of a lot of HP. That's the only thing. And it's definitely not a 100% drop. I can tell you that. And again, music. Or lack thereof. And we are in 25%. This is not clever. I'm surprised she's up, actually. Okay, I think I'm something enslaved. Charm. Interesting. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it would take far too long to kill her. And I can't remember how good the torture tool actually is. Yeah, there was a time there would be so many people in that instance that it would literally spawn an additional instance. So what would happen then, you see, is people would quickly log on like any old lobby fr00b character, run inside the new instance, check the GS, and if the GS was like a high number, like 4, 5, etc., what they were doing later on was leave them logged in there. Now what the game did at the time was Tara would open and finish, but then they would log in their lobby alts or mules or whatever placeholder characters they've created, and it would force the dungeon to open another one, and every time it opened a new GS you got a new Tara. So yeah, lots of XP. Thank you very big. That was pleasant. Yeah, so people would be going in and killing Tara, you know, like 30, 40 times. Well, okay, 4 or 5 times. But that's a lot more than the game was ever really meant to do. I mean, the idea the idea behind spawning extra instances of a place is to try and make things fairer when things were an awful lot busier. So, yeah. However, it's very rare now, and I think they did something to nerf it so Tara would only spawn in the very first instance, or if you logged a character in to try and force the instance open, it wouldn't work. They did something to stop it happening. But I don't really know why. Because it was just making hard to get gear far more available. If you think about it, there were, it was a case of, oh, you want that item, well that's going to cost you 50 squillion. Whereas if there's 4 more of them are available, then it's not nearly as expensive. Right, Ashley Winstead. I take it I hit all the data thieves. More XP. You don't get a lot, I don't think, for this. You do get some credits, though. Not a hell of a lot. Now what? Oh, yes, these guys. So, actually, we are going back out to... We can zoom out now. Yeah, we're going all the way out here, which is pretty much due south of where we've just come from. As I said, we're back here. Yes, we are. We've got a map marker to follow. A waypoint mission marker, in fact. Always nice. I was about to say, oh yes, while I did a bit of a dailies this morning, and I forgot to record it because we had the second stage that you get in the Smuggler's Den, where you have to kill the human NPCs, and these dropped. These were considered the absolute shizzle back in the day. See there, level requirement 146. I mean, by today's standards, no, they're not all that great, but I had to pick them up. See there, these were the first pieces of armour, really, that did this kind of stuff. And it was across the full set. MK2. The Cranums, I never really knew on that. The Craniums, Corona Mark II boots. There's Mark 1 and Mark 2, and it drops from the thugs, veteran smugs, brutes, etc. Very low drop rate. So, yeah. But it gave you NCU and health, and everyone was like, holy crap. And back then, armour wasn't like this. It really wasn't. What quality is that? Oh, yeah. I thought it said level from 50. I thought, no, I should really upgrade that. But no. And, of course, it being no drop kind of meant, yeah. So, we want to pay attention because we just flew past the mission. Okay, slicers are the things we're going to need here. Now, it was either brave or quite foolish. But I haven't saved yet. I think we're going to be okay on these. I'm not sure about Morgan Le Fay. I think I could have taken her on this guy, but my suspicion is someone else would have run down and just annihilated her, and then me along with it. No, we don't want tearers, we want slicers, and we need a lot of them for this quest. 10, in fact. 10 is, quite a few. Oh, he's only green. That's good. I mean, you do need to be 120 to get this quest. Come along now. I think I'm getting server-lag. Hopefully not as bad as I got during the stream. I put that down to the server was lagging a little, and then me streaming at the same time certainly wasn't helping. Okay, this is feeling pretty easy, if I'm honest. I have got quite a few buffs. Have to be honest. The buff age is, well, you can see there I've got OS, RRFE, normal buffs, SG, XP, yeah. So there's a lot going on here. And now there's a few of them, we are starting to take the damage. It's a bit of a catch-22. I need a better heal, this quest gives me one. But I need the better heal because I'm doing this quest. Yeah. It's a bit of a do. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm not evading these at all, so I'm actually going to go to there. Just so I can hit them harder, if that makes sense. I'm not sure that's working. Okay, I'm going to go full death again, because I think these two were struggling to hit me. Kill the one we need first, and it looks like I'm going to have to kill the Terror immediately after. It's annoying the Terrors being grey, but they're still aggressive. The ones I'm really not looking forward to are, yeah, the sand crawlers you get at the end. They have a dart and really nasty kind of damage. They really do. You may not be expecting it at all. Ah, there we go. There's a slicer. Come to me, slicer. Come to me, my pretties. Yes. Come to me. There we go. I find your lack of music disturbing. I have no idea why it's doing that to me lately. It could be it's high time I did a fresh install, but I really don't want to be doing that. I pretty much had the same install since 2001. I think even when I changed hard drives and computers, I would... oh, it's a slicer that's coming, that's good. Kind of body pulled that somehow. That's a hell of an aggro range he has. Yeah, the original folder and folder name, I don't think it's changed since 2001. I even remember burning the entire installation to a DVD and then using that. And then when jump drives, USB sticks became a thing, actually having it backed up on there. It was quite cool when your prefs folder still lived in the installation folder, because you'd get a new PC, copy across your AO and all your prefs, so everything on screen would be exactly the same. I think the biggest difference to me was when I got a 1440p monitor, and I adopted that resolution quite early on. At 2012 I got 1440p, and once you've had it, it's hard to explain. You've got so many more pixels per square inch in front of you that you do get used to it. And it can, when you look at 1080p monitors, especially bigger ones, they immediately look blocky and pixelated, and the aliasing is a lot more apparent. And I think it's just because your eyes have become accustomed to it. But you barely need aliasing on a good 1440p. On something like a 4K, you almost certainly wouldn't need it. I don't think. Okay, this is the last slicer. Yeah, so the new engine, even if it looked identical to the old engine, I would have used anyway, simply because you cannot run 1440p, so 1440 by 2560. Ooh, XP. Okay, and we should have another marker. Yeah, you can get close. I used to run, I think, 2000 and something by 1440, just so I could have it sharp. When I ran it at 1080, that kind of looks all right on a 4K monitor, because it's because each pixel is being represented by 4 pixels, so it's nice and square. So it's just like having larger pixel frames. But on a 1440p monitor, it's not quite, and everything looks kind of blurred, which is annoying. I'm being honest here. It's bloody annoying. Yes, it is. You're literally kind of trying to split 1 3/4 or something, 125% reduction So instead of a nice square image, you're sort of getting this blurred kind of look, like somebody's, you know, put a pair of trick glasses on your eyes. So yeah, playing in full screen didn't really work, so I'd have to play in borderless windowed mode. So I'd have this tiny little AO window, which felt like it was only taking up half of the, well, it was taking up more than half, like 2/3 of the screen. But of course, the downside of 1440p and higher resolutions is we all need far more powerful, you know, systems to actually run it. Ah, yes, the secondary Omni bass. See, that's what we want. That's the music we should have. Something that fills you with a sense of dread as you fly over it. And it should. That's extremely dangerous if you're not Omni. Okay, now, these guys I think are going to be tougher again. Yes, I do. What did these guys drop? This droid here. A500 Elite. Was it an A500 Elite? They dropped something that people used to farm, I'm sure. Right, we're going to be using the aggression enhancer for this. And we actually want nano mutants. I think there's someone else doing this quest. Yes, they do. I mean, there almost always will be, but no, I mean, you know, at the same time as me. Which is okay for now, but that is definitely going to be a problem when it comes to doing the very final stage with the Borgs. Then it all gets very weird. Okay, all I have to do now is find 9 more. Not seeing any really. Carbonium rock, quality 24 next to quality 31. I think these are the low ones. There's a place out in where the Enigma are, etc. You can get like quality 290-ish or something. Not seeing any. All I'm seeing is the lobies, but they're all grey. I don't think they'll aggro while if they're grey ones. And those ones are only green, okay. Feeling slightly cocky now. Okay, I've got 2. They nuke. Oh yeah. Well, I'm on full def, and I'm going to be staying on full def. I'm thinking it's the sensible thing to do when confronted with this. Oh, have I got no music again? I don't get it. Let's turn music off. Set it to full. And then set it back on. Yeah, it feels really weird without music. I've just always had the music on. I always thought it was really well done. I'm saying that as, you know, a musician. I always thought the people that put together the music for the game were incredibly talented team. I mean, the music won awards when the game was released, and rightly so. Rightly so. It is really great. It doesn't date, you see. That's what's so difficult with music, is especially now. Especially now. In games now, I mean, some of the music in Half-Life never dates. It's because it's of its own creation. It was created for the game to fit with the game. It encompasses new and old. But you know, stuff like 80s music that always sounds like 80s music, you know. A snare drum sound so loud you could probably land a 747 on it. Okay, 4 more of these guys. I'm sure the last time I did this there were a damn sight more of them. I am. Okay, there's 2 here. I think we can handle them. final one is going to be the killer every time I do it. The sandcrawler guys are much tougher than you think they are. And of course we had the advantage of being paid the last time. Although I think I may have been 10 levels lower. I think I might have done it at 120-ish. I would literally have to go look. I do not remember. And the reason I don't remember isn't I have a bad memory. It's just I've done it so many damn times that you kind of go, well, which tune do you actually remember clearly doing it on? You know, this one, the 4 previous to it, what level were they? You know, so it is usually around this level though. But the actual specifics, you'd have to go through the playlists, and especially on the older ones, I would actually put a little of what was happening in the episode into the title, so it's quite easily to find. But that would be the only way I'd be 100% sure. Only a couple after this guy, I think. Ah, was that it then? Oh good, yes, we're on to the crawlers. Now for this, I think caution will be key. So if you're in the market for farming token guns, then look no further than this little piece of landmass over here. If you're clan, of course. There's a couple of tough-ish NPCs on there, and then a bunch of regular ones on this hill of death. I call it that because it's constantly full of corpses. So you've got Sergeant Harry, who is 160, and then the generic mobs, which are 155. It's not a bad place for XP at lower levels. Not bad at all. Not that we're going to be having a go. I remember coming out here before I had a Yalm back in the day. Yes, indeed. And that was quite interesting, because you weren't sure of quite which direction you're on. We're going to relive that moment now as I jump out of the Yalm. And I also played first person. So I'd be coming along like this. These bars went here. I don't think they actually moved. Maybe they did. So you'd be looking at things like this, as though you were playing a first-person game. But first-person now feels very odd in AO for me. Okay, green. Going to chance of green. We're going to kill this one in first-person just for the lols. If it doesn't kill me. Because it does have a rather nasty dot. See, if I don't actually look down, my camera doesn't move. Okay, this isn't proving too bad. I don't think it has even tried to drop its debuffs and dot on me yet. How long have I got left on RIFE? 12 minutes. That may be long enough. Okay, this one's tougher. Let's try a tougher one and go back to third person. There used to be a third option for third person. It was like a follow cam. So you were third person, but the camera would sort of follow rather than, you know, much else. Okay, these definitely hit harder for their level. The green were okay. We're doing alright. We are critting on it quite hard, actually. Right. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. That's not bad. Ow. Yes, bigger heals, please. Can Froobs use Zazen form? That's what I want to know. I can't remember if that nano is no drop. If it is, then the answer is no. As is the case with a lot of the LE nanos. It may not directly say must not be Froob, but there's something else with it, like must have nano deck, which excludes Froob, or must be level 215, which excludes Froob, Or it could have something on it like must have spec 4, 3 or 2, but any of the specs, and you can't actually use it on a free because you've no access to them. Yeah, I still think make all fr00bs sloobs for free. Make it an option. Click here to upgrade to your free sloob account. I think the free account should have Shadowlands and AI, but not the others. I think if you did that, a hell of a lot more people would play free. You know, they would play free-to-play game if we had Shadowlands and AI thrown in for free. Because, I mean, you could go and do beast raids like that. I'm telling you now, AI 30, alien armor. Okay, you don't have the Zan items and you don't have research, so in PvP, etc., yes, you would be at a disadvantage. But you wouldn't be a gimp by any stretch of the imagination. No, you wouldn't. And you could play with the people that are paid. You know, you could go off and do... That looked like it did nothing. Oh, I've got this on me. Degrading system. It's only 40. Feels a lot worse though. I don't know why that's found its way there. Has it always been there? It probably has and I've not realised. That sounds like that's the kind of thing I do. Okay, let's make sure we has plenty of nano. How many more do I need? Oh my god. You know what, I'll find out on the next kill. No, it did just... Oh, there you go. It's got it on me straight away, degrading system. It's quite a nasty dot, that. Doesn't look like much, but it is. Okay, but the crits are definitely starting to happen a bit more now. 5 more. We're halfway through on this one. Okay, a green. Good. Come on, Mr. Green. Come to me, Mr. Green. It's coming, okay. How is my brawl, actually? You know what? Yeah. Won't make it any quicker, but it might hit a little harder and stun a little more often. That's always a good thing. Another greenie. Yeah, it got the debuff on me. They do hit surprisingly hard given their level, to be perfectly frank. I think we could well get another level out of this quest. Well, this stage of the quest, certainly. What I don't want is what's happened, which is that has spawned up behind me as we've worked our way in. Because a couple of these on you, and yeah, you have bigger problems. Now, is that the first one? Which means there's another one going to spawn over there, I think. Ooh. That was a lot of damage for the level. I still have 6 minutes of RRFE left. Wow, that was a hard hit. 500 and something. Ooh. Ooh, interrupt as well. Okay, now we're kind of trying to find our way back out. How many now? These two. Okay, what we do not want is 2 at once. Okay, I'm going to use the blind ring on him. I'm starting to think it's possibly time to get started on Inner Sanctum. Start getting the various parts from there, the attack and everything. Damn, we got 2. Okay. Actually, this won't be orange. Okay, we've now got 3. 3 is probably too much. Okay. The other 2 I could have maybe handled, but this many? No. No, 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 no. Time to run away. Know when you're beaten. I don't know how long the follow is on them. Are we still in aggro? No, okay. It's not ridiculously long. Some mobs will follow you across an entire zone. I'm looking at you, Mr. Heckler. And disgusting parasite is another one for that. Okay, let's try and pull the lobby. Hit it harder. Kind of willing it to do it. What are we at now? We have 856 MA skill, so MA fist. That's our weapon there at the top. 111, it's pretty good. That's why MA attacks never work on Shade. Look, it's worse than any other class in MA. Yeah, but you've got the MA thing and everything. No, it doesn't work. It's awful. Don't do it. Shades don't let Shades go MA. I mean, yeah, if you really want, of course you bloody can. It's your game. You play it how the hell you like, but you're taking one of the best damage professions in the game and making it crap. I mean, like, not only do you get less damage, you know, you're slower than an MA, but look at that. It's way, way lower. It's lower than a Dark or any other class, all professions except MA and Shade. So yeah, you could have an MA soldier that would do more damage. Plus, you can't use your perks because you need a piercing weapon to do it. So yeah, I know amount of times people go, oh yes, but actually I'm going to do blah blah blah, and it's like, it doesn't matter what you do, it will be crap. Yes, it will. Now, if you don't actually have a Yalm and you're wondering how do I get down to Corporal Ashley Winstead, well, if you were running along like thus, did I go and barkeep? I handed in, didn't I? Yeah. I just had a horrible feeling I hadn't then. Yeah, you can literally just follow this little path down here. There is the island as well, of course, and that has the... It's not there anymore, but there used to be a shop there for fixers only, which was quite a nice touch. You know, like traders have got their trader-only vendors. Very handy for selling things, actually. But, yeah, fixers don't, but they used to have one. Used to be very good. Okay, I think we can jump out the Yalm for this one and speak to Ashley Winstead. I've dealt with the critters. And he wants the items that have spawned in our inventory. Yes, he does. There we go. Nice. I thought it'd be enough to ding on. Got anything else for me to do? Yes, indeed. So, cyborg hunting season. That's going to be fun. Okay, folks. Bye for now.